So I guess it would be safe to say that Birdemic is an intricate, complex love story driven by the political awareness of global warming and environmentalism. I'm sorry, I can't do that with a straight face. No, in reality, Birdemic is just a bunch of shitty actors spewing out shitty dialogue with maybe the shittiest special effects I've ever seen in my natural-born life. So, Birdemic is about this couple, Rod and Natalie, who fall in love kind of instantaneously, and then birds attack, and that's it. But no one knows why. And who cares? Because just based on what's going on in this movie, you don't need to know the plot or anything. You just need to know that these birds are pissed off and they're coming after everyone, and they want everyone dead. Of course. So, just to start out, the guy who plays Rod, I don't know where they got this guy. The first time you see him is, right after the 3-minute intro that's just a car with the camera. You see from the car's point of view, the camera's like lopsided, and it's just going, and you hear the most cheesiest music ever. And then you see Rod go into this diner, and that's where he sees Natalie, and he's like, "Hey, I think I know you. We went to school together." And she's like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, I sat behind you in class." And she's like, "Oh, really? Yeah. I never asked you out." "Oh, really?" And it's unfortunate because the girl who plays Natalie is really attractive, but why'd you do this, God? It was written and directed by James Wynn, who I'm sure none of you have ever heard of before, but he is doing a second Birdemic already. More power to you, James. So it turns out that once the relationship starts going, these birds start attacking. They end up in a hotel room, and that's when the birds attack for the first time. The birds are flying across the sky with jet sounds, crashing into buildings, setting them on fire, and blowing up gas stations and cars. There are a bunch of screaming eagles, I guess you would call them. Yeah. And apparently the only weakness that the birds have are terrible marksmanship by the characters, because the characters end up with guns, and it's like James Wynn went online and looked up a looping animation of birds, and then just decided to stick them all in the movie, because that's exactly what it looks like. Because I don't know where he would have, if anyone animated this thing for him, and he was like, "That's great, we'll just use it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again." Because anytime a bird gets killed, it's the same exact animation. I'll be flying towards the screen, then you see a little blood splatter go, and then fall right to the ground. That's the only animation of a bird getting killed, besides a bird flying into the ground or flying into a windshield. Dear God, it's like The Happening, how it's just... I'm not going to talk about The Happening anymore. But then halfway through the movie, they try to get this political environmentalism speech going, where they think it's global warming that's causing SARS and the bird flu and West Nile virus, and that's why these birds are attacking. Oh no, the scientist says that's not why the birds are attacking, but he doesn't have any physical evidence why the birds are attacking. He tried testing a bird, but he didn't get anything out of it, so that was just null and void. And then they end up meeting this hippie in the forest, and he's like, "Oh, the forest is my family, and because of global warming, it's going to be torn down." Still no reason why the birds are attacking. So the shock and terror aspect of the title, Birdemic, Shock and Terror, I was shocked how terror-ble this movie was, because I saw, a thing about it on the soup, and I was like, wow, that looks really bad. And a guy I work with then showed me the full trailer, and I was like, wow, this might be worse than The Room. And guess what? It is worse than The Room. Tommy Wiseau, you're no longer on the bottom of my list. James Wynn, congratulations, buddy. You made it. Just overall, acting, the filmmaking, it's like they found $50. They must have put like $50 into this movie, and that paid for like food for 2 days, because it seems like they just went around shooting random stuff and like just tried piecing it all together. There's no production value whatsoever. The audio cuts out in like the very first scene where there's dialogue. It cuts out. The ADR is absolutely terrible. The effects make you want to throw up. The I just don't understand. There's like how this could have come to be. And now it's on Blu-ray. Who the fuck would try to put this movie on Blu-ray? Like, the quality that I watched, it was terrible. Trying to upconvert that, trying to waste time and money to upconvert that, oh my god, that person must have had the most boring week of their life. But, do you hear that? Just give me a sec. Weird. What the hell is that noise? God. So yeah, more production value went into that just now than the entire movie of Birdemic. So that's it for this review, guys. If you can, you know, start enjoy the rest of the week, hang out with your family, have yourselves a party. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Don't you owe me some money? I think somebody's calling. I gotta go. Just hanging out with the family, having ourselves a party. Just hanging out.